Imagine a civilization without cities, whose empire stretched across vast, untamed grasslands and whose warriors struck fear into the hearts of ancient empires. The Scythians, enigmatic nomads of the Eurasian steppes, left behind no written records, yet their legacy endures through the artifacts and accounts of those they encountered. Who were these formidable horsemen, and how did they shape the course of history? In the vast expanse of the Eurasian steppes, a formidable group of nomadic warriors emerged, known to history as the Scythians. Flourishing between the 7th and 3rd centuries BCE, their territory stretched from the Carpathian Mountains in the west to the Altai Mountains in the east, encompassing over 4,000 kilometers of open plains. This immense region, characterized by its grasslands and sparse forests, was ideally suited for a pastoral lifestyle, which the Scythians mastered with unparalleled skill. The origins of the Scythians have been a subject of intrigue and debate among historians and archaeologists. Ancient accounts, particularly those of the Greek historian Herodotus, offer insights into their beginnings. Herodotus recounted multiple origin myths, one of which suggests that the Scythians were descendants of Heracles and a creature who was half woman, half snake. Another narrative posits that they migrated from Central Asia, displacing the Cimmerians as they moved into the regions north of the Black Sea. Modern archaeological and genetic research provides further clarity. Evidence indicates that the Scythians were part of the Eastern Iranian language group, sharing linguistic and cultural ties with other Indo-Iranian peoples. Their migration patterns suggest a movement from Central Asia into the Pontic-Caspian steppe, where they established dominance over indigenous populations. The Scythians' mastery of horseback riding revolutionized their way of life. They became adept equestrians, utilizing horses not only for transportation but also as integral components of their warfare strategies. Their use of the composite bow, a powerful weapon crafted from wood, horn, and sinew, allowed them to execute swift and devastating attacks, making them formidable adversaries on the battlefield. Interactions with neighboring civilizations further highlight the Scythians' influence. They engaged in both trade and conflict with the Greeks, Persians, and later the Romans. The Greeks, for instance, were both fascinated and intimidated by the Scythians, often depicting them as quintessential barbarians in their literature. Conversely, the Scythians adopted certain aspects of Greek culture, indicating a complex relationship of mutual influence. The legacy of the Scythians is evident in the archaeological treasures unearthed from their burial mounds, known as kurgans. These sites have revealed intricately crafted gold artifacts, weapons, and horse trappings, reflecting a rich cultural tapestry and a society that valued artistry as much as martial prowess. In essence, the Scythians were more than mere nomadic warriors. They were a dynamic and influential civilization that left an indelible mark on the history of the Eurasian steppes. Their adaptability, martial skills, and cultural exchanges with neighboring societies underscore their significance as true lords of the endless steppe. The Scythians, a formidable force of the ancient world, carved a legacy through their unparalleled mastery of warfare. Their dominance over the expansive Eurasian steppes was not merely a result of their nomadic lifestyle, but stemmed from a sophisticated blend of innovative tactics, advanced weaponry, and an intrinsic understanding of the terrain they traversed. At the heart of Scythian military prowess was their exceptional skill in mounted archery. From a young age, Scythian warriors were trained to ride with remarkable agility, enabling them to execute complex maneuvers on horseback. This mobility allowed them to engage enemies with swift hit-and-run attacks, making them elusive targets and formidable foes. Their primary weapon, the recurved bow, was a testament to their ingenuity. Crafted from a combination of wood, horn, and sinew, this compact yet powerful bow delivered arrows with devastating force and precision, even from a moving steed. Beyond their prowess with the bow, the Scythians employed a diverse arsenal that showcased their adaptability and understanding of combat. They wielded long two-edged swords for close combat, short swords known as akinakis for swift strikes, and narrow-bladed battle axes and war picks to penetrate armor. Daggers and maces further supplemented their weaponry, ensuring they were prepared for various combat scenarios. This array of weapons not only highlighted their martial versatility, but also their commitment to equipping themselves with tools that complemented their dynamic fighting style. Protection in battle was paramount, and the Scythians demonstrated innovation in their defensive gear. They adopted scale armor, a design borrowed and refined from interactions with neighboring civilizations. This armor consisted of small metal plates sewn onto leather or fabric, offering flexibility without compromising protection. Both warriors and their horses were often clad in such armor, underscoring the importance of safeguarding their invaluable mounts. Helmets evolved over time, from the early Cuban-type cast bronze helmets to Greek-inspired designs, reflecting a synthesis of indigenous and external influences. Shields, typically crafted from hide, wicker, or wood, reinforced with iron strips, provided additional defense, with aristocratic warriors often adorning them with decorative central plaques. The Scythians' tactical acumen extended beyond their equipment. They were adept at psychological warfare, employing strategies that instilled fear and uncertainty in their adversaries. Feigning retreats, they would lure enemies into vulnerable positions, only to turn and unleash devastating counterattacks. This method of feigned flight was emblematic of their understanding of deception in warfare. Furthermore, their intimate knowledge of the vast steppe landscape allowed them to utilize scorched earth tactics, depriving invading forces of resources and drawing them deeper into inhospitable territories where supply lines became overstretched and morale plummeted. Their reputation as fierce warriors was further cemented by their war customs, which, while brutal, served to intimidate foes and reinforce their own societal values. It was customary for a Scythian warrior to drink the blood of the first enemy he killed, symbolizing the absorption of the adversary's strength. Collecting and displaying the severed heads of enemies was not uncommon, with warriors being rewarded based on the number they presented. Scalps were tanned and used as decorative handkerchiefs or tied to horse bridles, serving as grim reminders of their victories. In some instances, the tops of skulls were fashioned into drinking bowls, a practice believed to transfer the power of the deceased to the victor. Such customs, while macabre, were deeply ingrained in Scythian culture and underscored their commitment to martial prowess. Interactions with neighboring civilizations further honed Scythian military strategies. Their alliance with the Neo-Assyrian Empire, for instance, exposed them to advanced metallurgical techniques and statecraft. Through such engagements, they assimilated new technologies and tactics, which they seamlessly integrated into their own martial traditions. This openness to external influences, combined with their inherent adaptability, ensured that the Scythians remained at the forefront of military innovation. In essence, the Scythians' dominance was not solely due to their nomadic lifestyle or the vastness of their territories, but was a direct result of their sophisticated approach to warfare. Their blend of mobility, tactical deception, diverse weaponry, and psychological strategies made them one of the most formidable forces of the ancient world. Their legacy in military history is a testament to the effectiveness of adaptability, innovation, and an unwavering warrior ethos. The Scythians, renowned for their martial prowess and nomadic lifestyle, exhibited a profound reverence for death, as evidenced by their elaborate burial practices. Central to these rites were the kurgans, monumental burial mounds that stood as enduring testaments to their beliefs and societal structures. Constructed with meticulous care, kurgans varied in size and complexity, reflecting the status and wealth of the interred. For the elite, these mounds could reach impressive dimensions, dominating the landscape as symbols of power and reverence. The construction process began with the excavation of a deep pit, within which a wooden chamber was erected resembling a log cabin. The floor was often lined with felt, and the chamber's roof comprised layered wooden beams, ensuring durability and protection. This subterranean abode served as the final resting place for the deceased, who was laid to rest alongside a curated assemblage of personal belongings and treasures. The practice of including grave goods was deeply rooted in the Scythian belief in an afterlife where such items would be of use. Personal ornaments, weapons, and household items accompanied the deceased, each artifact narrating a chapter of their earthly existence. Notably, the inclusion of horses in these burials underscored their significance in Scythian society. These animals, often adorned with intricate harnesses and decorative trappings, were sacrificed and placed beside their owners, symbolizing their continued service in the hereafter. The number of horses interred varied, with some kurgans revealing dozens, indicating the prominence of the individual. Recent archaeological excavations have unearthed kurgans that offer deeper insights into these practices. In the Tuva region of Siberia, a burial mound dating back approximately 2,800 years was discovered, containing the remains of an elite individual accompanied by 18 sacrificed horses. This site, known as Tunug I, is considered one of the earliest examples of Scythian-like burial customs. The horses were meticulously arranged, some with brass bits still between their teeth, suggesting they were buried with their bridles intact. Such findings illuminate the lengths to which the Scythians went to ensure their esteemed members were well equipped for the afterlife. The Scythians' burial rituals extended beyond mere interment. They encompassed a series of ceremonies reflecting their spiritual beliefs. Mummification was a practiced art, involving the removal of internal organs, which were then replaced with dry grass or other materials. The body was sewn up using animal tendons, and small holes were drilled into the skull to extract brain matter, which was similarly substituted. These meticulous procedures aimed to preserve the body, ensuring its readiness for the journey beyond. The exteriors of kurgans were equally significant. Some were encircled by impaled bodies of humans and horses, creating a macabre tableau that possibly served as a deterrent to grave robbers or as a ritualistic display. The impaled figures, mounted on poles, presented a haunting image of riders on horseback, standing sentinel over the burial site. Such practices underscore the Scythians' commitment to safeguarding their dead and the treasures they took with them. The permafrost of the Siberian tundra has acted as a time capsule, preserving organic materials that would have otherwise decomposed. This natural refrigeration has allowed for the recovery of textiles, woodwork, and even tattooed human remains, providing an unparalleled glimpse into Scythian artistry and daily life. The Pazyryk burials, for instance, have yielded a wealth of artifacts, including the famed Pazyryk carpet, the oldest known pile carpet, demonstrating the intricate craftsmanship of these nomadic people. The legacy of the Scythian kurgans extends beyond their architectural grandeur. They serve as cultural and historical touchstones, offering insights into the values, beliefs, and social hierarchies of a civilization that once dominated the Eurasian steppes. Through these burial mounds, the Scythians communicated their reverence for the deceased, their aspirations for the afterlife, and their unyielding bond with the horses that were integral to their way of life. In essence, the kurgans stand as enduring monuments to the Scythians' intricate funerary customs and their profound connection to both the earthly and spiritual realms. They encapsulate a worldview where life and death are intertwined, and where the journey beyond is but a continuation of the path trodden in life, accompanied by loyal steeds and cherished possessions. Amidst the vast expanses of the Eurasian steppes, the Scythians cultivated an artistic tradition that mirrored their nomadic existence and deep connection to the natural world. Their art, predominantly expressed through intricate metalwork, serves as a testament to their craftsmanship and the cultural exchanges that shaped their identity. Central to Scythian artistry is the animal style, a distinctive form characterized by dynamic depictions of fauna, both real and mythical. This style features creatures such as stags, panthers, and griffins, often portrayed in combat or in fluid, intertwined poses. These representations are not mere decorative motifs, they embody the Scythians' spiritual beliefs, symbolizing strength, agility, and the perpetual cycle of life and death. Goldsmithing stood at the pinnacle of Scythian artistic achievements. Utilizing gold sourced from trade or local deposits, Scythian artisans crafted a plethora of items, including jewelry, weapon embellishments, and horse trappings. The famed gold pectoral from the Tolstaya Mogyla kurgan exemplifies this mastery. This elaborate neckpiece, adorned with scenes of daily life and animal motifs, reflects a sophisticated understanding of form and narrative. The meticulous detailing suggests that these artisans employed advanced techniques, such as granulation and filigree, underscoring their technical prowess. The Scythians' interaction with neighboring cultures, notably the Greeks, enriched their artistic repertoire. As they engaged in trade and cultural exchanges, Scythian art began to incorporate Hellenistic elements, leading to a fusion that produced unique artifacts blending Scythian themes with Greek aesthetics. This synthesis is evident in various artifacts where Greek motifs and styles are seamlessly integrated into traditional Scythian designs, showcasing a mutual influence that transcended mere commerce. Beyond metalwork, the Scythians demonstrated proficiency in other mediums. Textile fragments recovered from burial sites reveal intricate patterns and vibrant dyes, indicating a rich tradition of weaving and embroidery. Leatherworking was also prominent, with artisans producing decorated clothing, quivers, and harnesses, often embellished with metal appliques. These items not only served functional purposes, but also conveyed social status and identity within the tribe. The preservation of Scythian art owes much to the burial customs that safeguarded these treasures. The permafrost of the Siberian tundra, for instance, has acted as a natural conservator, maintaining the integrity of organic materials that would have otherwise deteriorated. Excavations of kurgans have unveiled a wealth of artifacts, offering profound insights into the Scythians' aesthetic sensibilities and their worldview. In essence, Scythian art encapsulates the spirit of a people deeply attuned to their environment and open to external influences. Their legacy, immortalized in gold and other mediums, continues to captivate and inform, bridging the past with the present through the universal language of artistic expression. The Scythians also possessed a rich and intricate spiritual tapestry that deeply influenced their daily lives and societal structures. Their religious beliefs, an amalgamation of Indo-Iranian traditions and unique nomadic interpretations, offer a fascinating glimpse into the worldview of these enigmatic people. At the heart of Scythian spirituality was a pantheon of deities, each embodying elements of the natural world and human experience. Foremost among them was Tabiti, revered as the queen of the gods and associated with the hearth and fire. Her prominence underscored the central role of fire in Scythian culture, symbolizing both domestic stability and the unifying spirit of the community. Closely aligned with Tabiti was Papaios, the Sky Father, representing the overarching dome of the heavens and serving as a counterpart to the earth goddess Api. This duality reflected the Scythians' recognition of balance and harmony in the cosmos. Another significant deity was Artimpasa, a goddess embodying aspects of fertility, warfare, and sovereignty, often depicted with attributes linking her to both nurturing and combative roles. Artimpasa encapsulated the multifaceted nature of Scythian society, where roles and responsibilities were fluid and interconnected. The Scythians also held in high regard a deity equated with the Greek Ares, symbolizing war and conflict. Unique to their worship was the representation of this god through an iron sword, planted atop a mound of brushwood, around which they conducted elaborate rituals and sacrifices. This practice not only highlighted their martial ethos, but also the sacralization of their primary weapon, intertwining their spirituality with their identity as warriors. Central to Scythian cosmology was the genealogical myth, detailing the origins of their people and the divine endorsement of their societal structure. According to this narrative, the progenitor, Targetaos, fathered 3 sons, each receiving a symbolic gift from the heavens: a plough, a yoke, a cup, and a battle axe. These items represented the essential facets of Scythian life: agriculture, animal husbandry, ritual practices, and warfare. The youngest son, Colaxeus, proved himself worthy by successfully wielding these divine gifts, thus establishing the royal lineage and reinforcing the societal hierarchy that placed the warrior class at its apex. This myth not only legitimized the ruling elite, but also encapsulated the values and priorities of Scythian culture. Ritual practices among the Scythians were deeply intertwined with their nomadic existence and natural surroundings. They eschewed permanent temples, instead opting for open-air sanctuaries that allowed them to connect directly with the elements. Sacrifices, both animal and human, were integral to their ceremonies, serving as offerings to appease deities and ensure communal well-being. The aforementioned sword cult of their war god is a prime example, where the weapon itself became an altar, drenched in the blood of sacrifices, symbolizing the sanctity of warfare in their society. Shamanistic practices also permeated Scythian spirituality. Individuals believed to possess the ability to traverse between the physical and spiritual realms played crucial roles as mediators, healers, and diviners. These shamans, often identified by their distinctive attire and ritual paraphernalia, conducted ceremonies that involved trance states, invoking spirits and seeking guidance from the divine. Their presence underscored the Scythians' belief in a world where the seen and unseen were in constant interplay, and where spiritual insight was essential for maintaining cosmic balance. The Scythians' reverence for animals, evident in their art and burial practices, also extended into their spiritual beliefs. They attributed symbolic meanings to various creatures, viewing them as manifestations of divine qualities or as intermediaries between worlds. The eagle, for instance, was associated with the sun and seen as a messenger of the gods, while the stag symbolized regeneration and the cyclical nature of life. This animistic perspective reinforced their deep connection to the natural world and informed their rituals and mythologies. In essence, the Scythian spiritual landscape was as vast and dynamic as the steppes they inhabited. Their beliefs and practices reflected a harmonious blend of reverence for natural forces, acknowledgement of societal structures, and an intrinsic understanding of the interconnectedness of all existence. Through their rituals, myths, and deities, the Scythians articulated a worldview that celebrated both the tangible and intangible, grounding their transient lives in a rich tapestry of sacred traditions.